Number 5. Radiation roulette. Let's play a fun game called Guess What Happens When You Expose Humans to Radiation for Science. Spoiler, nothing good. In the 1940s, during the Cold War, researchers secretly gave patients radioactive substances just to see what would happen. And the patients? They often had no idea what was being done to them. Some were injected with plutonium. Others were given radioactive iron disguised as vitamins. Basically, free cancer with your checkup. The creepiest part is how casual it all was. Doctors acted like they were handing out candy while dosing people with materials we now treat like toxic waste. And yet, these unethical experiments provided early data on how radiation affects the body, information that still influences safety standards for cancer treatment, medical imaging, and even nuclear power. So the next time you get an X-ray, and the tech steps out of the room wearing a lead vest while telling you, "You'll be fine," remember this. People were once guinea pigs for radiation long before anyone knew the safe limits. If you suddenly feel like glowing in the dark, well, thank history for that. Number 4. The smallpox scab swap. Imagine this. Someone walks up to you with a dried scab, scrapes a little dust off it, and says, "Here, sniff this or let me cut your arm and rub it in. Don't worry, it's good for you." Congratulations, you've just been violated. Before vaccines existed, doctors in the 1700s tried to prevent smallpox by literally infecting people with milder doses of the virus. They'd grind up scabs from smallpox patients and insert them into cuts or blow the powder up someone's nose. Because nothing screams health care like a face full of corpse dust. And the thing is, it sometimes worked. If you survived, your body built immunity, and you were safe from future outbreaks. But if you didn't? Well, congrats. You just got full-blown smallpox, one of the deadliest diseases in history. Basically, medicine was playing Russian roulette with infection. Creepy as it sounds, this bizarre method laid the groundwork for modern vaccination. Edward Jenner saw variation and thought, maybe we should try something less disgusting, which led to the first true vaccine. So yeah, the reason your arm hurts after a flu shot today is partly because people once rubbed scabs into open wounds and called it prevention. Number 3. The Henrietta Lacks immortality heist. Now picture this. You go into a hospital for cancer treatment. What if doctors take a sample of your tumor, and without telling you, and keep your cells forever? That's exactly what happened to Henrietta Lacks in 1951. Her cancer cells turned out to be basically immortal. They didn't die after a few divisions like normal cells. Instead, they kept multiplying endlessly. Scientists realized they had struck gold, the first human cell line that could survive indefinitely in a lab. They named them HeLa cells, short for Henrietta Lacks, and they became the backbone of modern medical research. Here's the creepy part. Henrietta never gave consent. Her family didn't even know for decades, while her cells were used in experiments around the world. Polio vaccine? HeLa cells. Cancer research? HeLa cells. Even space biology, yep, they sent her cells into orbit to see how humans might react in zero gravity. Henrietta's story is unsettling because it's both a miracle and a theft. Her cells revolutionized medicine, but they were taken without respect for her rights. It's one of those haunting reminders that behind every scientific breakthrough, there's a human story, and sometimes it's not a fair one. Number 2. The monster study. Imagine being a kid, shy and unsure of yourself, and an authority figure says, "Hey, let's just ruin your ability to speak for the rest of your life." That's basically what happened in 1939 during what's now called the monster study. And no, that name wasn't an exaggeration. Researchers at the University of Iowa wanted to test whether stuttering was learned behavior. So they gathered 22 orphan children, divided them into groups. And then here comes the disturbing part. They praised some kids for speaking well and brutally criticized others for the tiniest mistakes. The unlucky kids were told things like, "Stop stuttering right now, or you'll never be normal." Keep in mind, some of these children didn't even stutter in the first place. The result? Some kids developed severe speech problems and lifelong trauma. Also, a few scientists could scribble notes and go, interesting. The messed up twist is that the study did confirm environment can influence speech patterns, which later fed into better therapies for stuttering. But for those orphans, the damage was already done. Their lives were permanently altered by an experiment that treated them more like lab rats than children. So yeah, next time you get nervous before a presentation, just remember at least you weren't in the group where adults gaslit you into believing you were broken. Number 1. The Frankenstein organ swap. Now picture this nightmare. It's the early days of transplant surgery, and doctors are basically winging it. No anti-rejection drugs, no perfected techniques, just scalpels, guts, and a whole lot of trial and error. In the mid-20th century, surgeons were so desperate to make organ transplants work that they sometimes transplanted animal organs into humans. Kidneys from chimpanzees, livers from pigs, even a baboon heart. Spoiler, it didn't go well. Patients either rejected the organs immediately or suffered agonizing complications. It was like medical Russian roulette, but with extra stitches. The creepy part is imagining yourself as one of those first patients. You're told, "We're going to save your life," but what they mean is, "We're going to test drive some new surgical ideas on your body and hope you don't explode internally." But here's the shocking twist. These gruesome early attempts paved the way for the transplant miracles we have today. Heart, liver, kidney transplants are now routine, saving countless lives every year. All because a few brave, and probably terrified patients agreed, or were coerced to let doctors play Frankenstein on their organs. So the next time you hear someone proudly say, "I'm an organ donor," just remember that noble act has its roots in a medical history that was equal parts brilliant and horrifying.